cannot hold me. Said I'm elevated and I'm free. Said I'm elevated and I'm free. Said I'm elevated and I'm free. They might hold you, but they cannot. Always knew I'd be here, boy, it's no surprise. Heard the truth and I heard the lies. I used to walk, but now I ride. Used to be passenger, but now I...
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your guy Rob Walk, and I want to welcome you to my channel. Today's conversation is about vocal cord dysfunction. So, to all my artists out there, if you're an aspiring artist, or if you're already making moves, trying to become more professional, definitely watch this video because there might be a gem or two in here just for you, okay? So I'm going to tell you a quick story, right? And hopefully not be too long-winded, but I really want to go through some of the details and specifics that I felt really really pull it all together, kind of like brings it all home. So I guess let's get right to it. So April of last year, I had my wisdom teeth removed. And the process, I'm not gonna say was the best. It was so-so. But overall, I mean, the procedure ended well, and I was getting through it, and I had this big fat jaw, and you know, they had me on the antibiotics and all the different medication that they give you, you know, to kill the pain. And one day I was at work, I was taking my pain medication, and all of a sudden, I started feeling like there was something lodged in my throat. So I thought maybe like aspirin or something like that had got trapped in my throat, and I immediately went into panic mode. I went to the ER, and the ER, they did a scope, but they didn't find anything. But they recommended that I make an appointment to go see an ENT doc. So the very next day I was on it. That's exactly what I did. Went to this doc who told me, he said, you know, I did my own scope, I did my own looking, and I don't see anything. He said, I don't know exactly what it is, but I can tell you what it's not. It's not cancer. Your vocal cords look great. Don't worry about it. You'll get better. That wasn't good enough for me. So through the process, I probably saw about 6 different ENTs. I saw 6 different ENTs. I went to my primary care doctor, who had told me that, you know what, Rob, what we'll do is we'll throw some stuff against the wall and we'll see what sticks. So we did blood work, and I was telling him I'm losing weight like crazy. I don't know. I mean, obviously I wasn't really eating because I didn't know what was going on, but I'm losing weight like crazy. My throat's still bothering me. It's hard for me to eat. It's hard for me to sleep, hard for me to drive. I can't do much of anything, and it's only getting progressively worse. Just to kind of give you a point of reference, I was 180 pounds in April of last year, and let's say by this time, I'm about 165, right? So he says, you know, let's do a series of scans. So we did an MRI, we did a CT scan, just of this whole upper area. That way we could kind of see what was going on. He ended up finding a scan of my head, and he said that, you know what, there's a dark spot in the back on the left side. Let's actually get you checked out by a neurologist. We want to make sure that that's not like multiple sclerosis or something serious like that. Just open up a whole nother can of worms. And so now I'm trying to figure out what two things are wrong with me. So now, is there something wrong with my brain, and there's something wrong with my throat? So now I'm like stressed out. All the while I'm still not eating, and I'm constantly in prayer, constantly digging into the Bible, just asking God just for some sort of, just tell me what it is, just what is it, like, can you please get me to the right person? And if anyone has ever gone to like a series of doctors, you know how it goes. So it's like you go and see a doc, and then you want to get like your next follow-up appointment. Next follow-up appointment is like 3 weeks later. So there's like nothing is ever just like, oh, I'll see you tomorrow. It's like, oh, I'll see you in 2 weeks, or I'll see you in 3 weeks, or my schedule's busy, I'll see you in 1 month. So it never gives you a chance to like really get things, the ball really rolling in the right direction. Let's see, where am I at? So at this point, like I said, I've seen 6 different ENT docs, 2 different primary care doctors, 1 GI doctor, And this went on until about September or October of 2019. All these different ENTs kept saying the same thing, and that is that it sounded like acid reflux. Mind you, I've never had an issue with acid reflux before, but it didn't make any sense. And because I'm not gonna say I didn't believe them, it just sounded far-fetched. It just sounded like the wrong thing. But what the GI doctor told me is that things that are related to gastrointestinal in your stomach could then affect things that are going on inside of your esophagus, which I guess I never really put two and two together. It wasn't until I met Dr. Orozco who mentioned that we might need to change my diet, that everything finally just clicked. And when I changed my diet, I just progressively started feeling better. And I started to be able to have like normal days again. And to add on top of that, I even went gluten-free, did everything that he recommended. I got an elevated pillow. Like I said, cut out pretty much all dairy, cut out all acidic things such as like tomatoes, pickles. Shoot, I mean, there's so many. I'm actually going to give you guys like a detailed description of what they told me to cut out. Just pretty much anything that was acidic or dairy-like or gluten. I just cut it all out of my diet, and I just started to feel better just little by little, like just gradually. He connected me with a speech pathologist. Her name is Jean. She's awesome. And what she explained to me was that the acid reflux had caused vocal cord dysfunction. And what that means is that when the vocal cords are supposed to open, they're supposed to open, they stay closed. And so she said, not to worry and help you fix it, but you're going to have to retrain your vocal cords to open when they're supposed to. And so we've been on this journey for like the last 2 months, only because of the schedule, the way that everything's sort of chopped up. But it's only like somewhere between 4 to 6 sessions where, she's been progressively giving me these different exercises to do, and I do them daily. That's actually reteaching my vocal cords to stay open. One of the big things that I was experiencing during all of this was extreme anxiety. So like when I was driving on the highway, my throat would start to feel like it was closing on me, and it would be hard to swallow, and my mouth would get really dry. And I would go into like a panic while I'm on the highway, which isn't good. And so what she taught me was different exercises that I could do to make sure that when I started to get that sensation, that my vocal cords would remain open. And there's so many different drugs that they were trying to get me to take during all of this. Obviously, with doing like CT scans and MRIs and all of that stuff, and they put you in all these different contraptions, you can have anxiety from being enclosed in tight spaces. But all of these different things that they had me taking, some made me feel good, some didn't. But all in all, I've been able to do it without all that stuff. So I did the pantoprazole, and that helped. And that's a drug that, from what I hear, it neutralizes stomach acid, and that helped. I did that for 30 days. That actually was during the time that I was seeing Dr. Orozco, and he was actually helping me kind of wean back off of like I said, the acidic foods and all of that. And then another thing that really helped was I got rid of the toothpaste I was using, believe it or not. So I would wake up feeling great in the mornings, but then I would brush my teeth, and as soon as I brushed my teeth, I started feeling like this stuffy feeling in my throat, and it's like, man, I was doing so well, and I was like, man, I don't know how to get around this. And Jean, she recommended that I try Biotine. So I started taking Biotine toothpaste, and there's even like a spray that I use, and that spray also helps. You just spray it on your tongue, and it kind of relaxes everything, and it makes it easier to swallow, and it gets rid of the dry mouth, and that's been amazing as well. I guess where I'm going with all of this is, not to be too long-winded, is if you're an artist and music is your profession, or you're a public speaker, or you use your voice in any sort of way, shape, or form, I know they always tell singers that they have to take care of their voices, you know, high notes and whatnot. But even if you're a rapper or a public speaker, you really need to be cognizant of your diet, because your diet is everything. Your diet is tied to your livelihood. And I'm not being preachy, but I had no idea. Like, I had no idea that all of these things were like directly connected. I know when I would be in the studio and the engineer that I'd be working with, he'd be like, you know, don't clear your voice. You know, don't do all of that with your voice. Don't do that. You got to drink water or sip something, but don't do all of that. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'll drink water. But even still, I found myself still trying to clear my throat. And I had no idea, like, that's bad for you. Like, don't try to clear your throat that way. It's bad for your vocal cords. So I'm just passing along this game because there's too many people out there that might be going through the same thing and not know what it is or what it's tied to. More than likely tied to your diet and the way that you eat. So if you change your diet, a lot of this stuff you'll never have to go through. So I'm hoping that me going through this will in turn help you not have to go through the same thing. So signing off. If there's anything else I can think of, I'll be sure to just drop it in like another video. But hopefully this is something that's helpful. If you're an artist, you definitely need to have a good diet and exercise. Can't stress it enough. Exercise and nutrition, it's everything. Signing off. Peace, Rock Wall.
Used to be passenger, but now I drive. Said I'm elevating, I'm free.